Since the National Trust seems intent on ditching Christmas, I am going to try an experiment on celebrating Christmas. More news about that after I tell you who I am. I'm Granniopteryx. My attention was caught by this article here. Christmas and Easter excluded from National Trust's inclusion calendar. And then it says here, Diwali, Eid and Ramadan dates feature, but Christian festivals go unmentioned. Right, so this is an inclusion calendar, but it doesn't include anything to do with Christianity by the looks of things. And then it says, members fear woke policies will prevail after AGM vote. Now, I have news for you, members of the National Trust. They've been woke for years. Take a look at this article here. This is in The Guardian, and it says here, this is 6 years old, National Trust reverses decision enforcing use of gay pride badges. Now, I want to explain, most of the people running the National Trust are volunteers. They give money and they give time. And they give their efforts, and they do fundraising, and they hold, I don't know what, events to raise funds for the National Trust. And the National Trust were trying to ban volunteers who were, it says here, carrying out public-facing duties, that is possibly standing on guard in places where people might be wandering through and looking, keeping an eye on the clientele, so to speak. And they were going to ban them. These are volunteers, remember. They're not employees. They were going to ban them if they refused to wear badges, gay pride badges. And there was a fuss about it. The National Trust has reversed a decision to bar volunteers from public-facing duties at a Norfolk stately home if they refuse to wear rainbow gay pride badges. And then, because this is the Guardian, they say this happened after concerted pressure in the right-wing press. So what they're saying is it's the right-wing press that made this fuss, and obviously the people who read the right-wing press are right-wingers, and they're the volunteers for the National Trust. A sneer at all these people who give so generously of themselves, their time and their money to keep a framework going that preserves British heritage and local cultures. Disgraceful, but yeah, that's The Guardian. Now the National Trust is trying again because, as you know, these things never quite go away. Christian holidays have been excluded from the National Trust's inclusion calendar, the Telegraph can reveal, triggering a backlash from members. I wouldn't say it's a backlash, I'd say it's a fight for the traditions that they're there to preserve. They shouldn't have to be fighting for this stuff. While Diwali, Eid and Ramadan feature in the heritage group's inclusivity and well-being calendar, you hear these things, you know it's going to be a disaster. Distributed to volunteers, Christmas and Easter go unmentioned. And these are people who keep Christmas and Easter, and many of them go to church on Christmas and Easter. They give presents, they organise Easter egg hunts, and probably a lot of these Easter egg hunts are going on National Trust premises to bring people in. So they go and buy tea and cakes in the cafe. And so they go in and see what's in there and imbibe the culture and the atmosphere. And they haven't put that in on their inclusivity calendar. The issue was raised by a volunteer amid angry scenes at its annual meeting where the Trust was accused of rigging an election to get favoured candidates voted in. Well, what do you know? What a surprise. A woke organisation rigging elections. Who'd have thunk it? OK, some fear the move will allow the organisation, which criticised the government's net zero policy and investigated its houses' links to the slave trade, oh, there you are, to push forward woke policies. And then Lord Sumption, a former Supreme Court justice who unsuccessfully stood for election to the council. Yeah, he's one of the great public thinkers of Britain, and they somehow didn't manage to elect him. He said its practical consequence is plain. It is to convert a system of election into a system of co-option by the trustees. That is a strange thing to do. It's strange for a body which is designed to hold the trustees to account to be, in practice, selected by the trustees themselves. OK, so here we have an example of woke politics in operation in a body that is actually intended to be preserving British culture. Yeah, that's my little warning about the National Trust. My warning is this: if you happen to be a donor or a volunteer, just stop it. You're wasting your time. Yeah. Find something else that's more sympathetic to the preservation of British artefacts, traditions and culture. Yeah, find somewhere else to put your immense energies and the funds you give, often when you can ill afford to give them. And I'm Granniopteryx, reminding you to click like, also to click share and to subscribe, and if you're on YouTube, to click the bell button. All the links to my other platforms, and perhaps you should take notice of them, because YouTube, well, you never can tell with YouTube, can you? So look in the description for my other channels so you'll know where I am if this one suddenly closes down. And also there are donation sites there in the description. I'm very grateful for donations, as you know, but really clicking like is a terrific thing you can do for this video and for my channel. Now let's get on with my idea for a Christmas celebration. Right, that's that. Now I want to tell you about my idea for a Christmas. It's not exactly a competition. It went like this. I thought somebody sent a very short story, which was a satirical dig at wokeness. And I liked it so much, I asked for permission to read it out. And I haven't had that permission yet. So if you're watching this, please let me know. Now, I thought maybe I could invite, I've got a lot of guests coming over Christmas and time might be short, but you could help me fill that in. I thought people could send in jokes, short stories. They'd have to be very short, something like 300 words, because, you know, otherwise there'd be no time to read them out. Short stories, reminiscences, talk about Christmas, philosophy, anything you like, so long as it's reasonably polite and doesn't use bad or suggestive language. We're not doing a carry-on film here. This is, I tend to be a bit more thoughtful around Christmas. I'm sorry, this table's rolling about. Now, the problem was this. I got myself a special Google Mail address you could send them to. And that was fine, but I thought I wanted to limit it to people who are subscribed to me. I went to my YouTube studio page and I looked at my list of subscribers. And I have about 39,000 of you, but it shows me the subscribers only in separate pages of 10 each. And there is no way, for instance, if somebody called Ice Cream 2022 sent in a nice story and I wanted to find out if Ice Cream 2022 was a subscriber, there is no way I can just punch in to my subscriber list I Scream 2022 and find if he's there on the list. I'd have to go through it page by page. Well, as you can imagine, that's really not possible. So it can't be just for subscribers, but I did want to give you subscribers some sort of a special privilege. So I'm not entirely sure what to do. If anyone has any suggestions, I might just throw it out to anyone who's watching, but I would much rather throw it out to subscribers, because after all, you deserve that. I did think, again, that the standard thing is to charge people. You invite the stories and then you get them to donate something, and then when they donate it, they're down there, they get that privilege. And I don't want to do that, because I know some of you could ill afford a donation to me, and I don't want to put that stress on you. And in any case, it's meant to be my Christmas present to my subscribers. So, if anyone can think of something I could do I don't see anything. I actually got in touch with YouTube and asked them if there was any way I could search through my subscribers, and they said no, that hadn't occurred to them. How dumb can you get? Anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. Don't send anything to my usual email address, and if I find something like that, I'll just delete it, simply because I get a lot of mail and I can't deal with it all. No, I want it in the special one I made for Christmas, which I'll put out when I've made a decision about what to do about the contributions. Okay, suggestions, welcome. Anyone knows what I might do? Yeah, please write in. You can email me privately if you want to on that sort of a subject, but don't put in any jokes or contributions just yet. All right. Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com, and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.